everybody, welcome back. It's unusual to see me here on Saturday, but there's a reason for that. Tomorrow, I'm going to be joining Dan for Collectors. It's his turn in the rotation to lead the live stream tomorrow. So he's going to be hosting his from the Dan stand. And he has invited me to join on what looks to be a recap of the Philly show. So that's going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Before I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this at the beginning and the end of the live stream. But I have, just because I'm one of the four collectors, or one of the five collectors, I guess, in the four collectors group, I have to do my due diligence here. So I'm just going to present the flyer that we are hosting. If you're going to Strongsville, we are hosting our first ever vintage trade night at the Best Western Strongsville. You guys, if you're unfamiliar with it, it is literally the parking lot separates the show from the hotel. It's going to be on Saturday night from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We have three sponsors who are going to be sponsoring the event. Dealer who a lot of people know in the hobby, Howard Chasser, a few of my favorite things. Grading companies, SGC, and then Auction House Love of the Game. We're really excited to have these three on board. We're going to have, it's free admission, so you can come and go as you please, and then free pizza. And I think we'll be providing water as well. And as a special courtesy to everybody that will be going, we are offering the first 250 people will get a free pack of cards, so you get to rip into something. And yeah, hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully a lot of trades happen, and we'll definitely go through this again towards the very end, just in case there's more people that arrive. And I'll be able to kind of go through this and promote it once more. For now, let's go ahead and we'll check into the chat and see who's here. And we have Jacob is number one, got here. How you doing, Jake? James is here. Good to have you here, James. Orlando is here. And Chris from CRT Sports Cards. How you doing, Chris? Litzy Sports Cards, ahoy there. The beer emoji, not the right night, but I like where your head is at. Let's see, who else? We got Eric is here, my Pinkerton buddy. Him and I both have Pinkertons in our collections. Brian is here. Good to have you here, Brian. Signs of the Pastime, what's up, buddy? Signs of the Pastime has got a lifelong friend in that beautiful bird now, man. That bird is going to be reciting baseball lingo and hobby lingo for the foreseeable future. Is this a black tie event? You can make it a black tie event. We're not going to hold you to it, though. Beat Up Cards is here. Munson, Trout Collector, what's up, buddy? The usual suspects are here. You are not here. Carlisle, I think you are here, unless you are some sort of AI-triggered YouTube channel or something going on there. Yeah, man, the green parakeet. So tonight, this is going to be a special edition sort of thing that we got going on. If you guys didn't read the description, I'll tell you right now. I wanted to do a player collector live stream. I asked a number of people. There's a number of people that unfortunately were not able to make it due to events that prior engagements that they had, which is understandable. I asked last minute to do this. But I did wrangle up one player collector in our hobby. I'm going to bring him in right now. I had him on last week, actually. So let's bring him in. Steve with the PH.
Hey, Sammy.
What's up? So
not much.
We were talking in the back and just kind of chatting about the upcoming Strongsville event. Yep. And so it comes as no surprise if everybody knows Stephen with the PH here collects one player and one player in particular. And see if you want to share why you collect this one player. Would love to hear the story, the background, because I don't know if I know it.
Well, it probably happened a few years back. I mean, we all know about Jackie Robinson, and for the most part, I was a Baltimore Oriole and Cal Ripken guy, and obviously Orioles, and I was looking into getting into some vintage, and what better person to jump on than Jackie Robinson? It was 2 years ago Strongsville 2 years ago this coming April when we went to Strongsville, and I ended up picking up my first Jackie. It was Jackie's Robinson's day, baseball day in April. I think it's April 15th. I think it is it?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And that weekend we were there, and I thought, what better guy from a baseball standpoint, but more so than that, just from a human point of view. I picked up my first Jackie there, and I've been riding that wave ever since.
So so pretty much it was, you said it was Jackie Robinson Day at, what is it? It was at Camden?
I'm not sure exactly where it was. I think it was just in the league altogether.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought maybe you went to an Orioles game and you were inspired by it being Jackie Robinson Day, and then that's what spawned you to start collecting Jackies.
Yeah. No, I basically. Oh wait, something happened here. Okay, I'm back. No, like I said, I mean, in Strongsville, I mean, we all know about Jackie, and my good friend Mike, Canadian Cards. We went down to Strongsville that weekend 2 years ago, and he ended up picking up the Jackie Bowman, the 49 Bowman.
Yeah,
because he was going after the 49 Bowman set. He did his video that day, and we were talking that night, Saturday night, and I had mentioned to him that, you know what, I think that's the guy I'm going to collect. I think that's the guy. I went down Sunday morning, and I picked up my first Jackie card there.
And you haven't turned back since?
I haven't. No, it's been I mean, for the most part, it's everything Jackie. I mean, I spot pick something here and there in case there's something else out there. But no, I still have a long ways to go to get a few big ones and a lot of different ones still I want to get out there.
Am I allowed to mention the one you're looking to get at Strongsville?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then sometimes people are a little sensitive about that, so I want to make sure that I don't spoil it or anything. So yeah, I mean, and so if you want to mention, so Steven's looking for the 52 Topps Jackie, a beautiful, stunning card, and is it a short print or is it not a short print?
Yes, no, I don't think it is.
Okay.
I don't think it. I can't remember, to tell you the truth.
But I mean,
it's a card right after Mickey.
But it's a high price card, no matter which way you look at it.
Yes.
And I guess the nice thing is that, I mean, with that, you can really kind of take your time, I would think, right? I mean, there are a number of them out there, so you could find them, but you want to take your time, I assume, until you find the one that speaks to you.
That's the plan, Sam. I've been keeping my eye on it. I'll be honest, when I went to the National last year, after getting the big leaf in Strongsville, I went to the National, and it was possibly on my list based on what would have been available. Now, with going there last year, with the type of funds I'm thinking it's going to cost me to get the example I really want. I was looking for it, but the Wednesday night, I ended up picking up the Bowman and the blue tint. So I was out of play for the 52 Topps.
Gotcha. I mean, it's quite a hunt, and it should be a fun one for you because again, it'll be more readily available, and it's not something where you have to run right into the room and have to like box everybody out like you're Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Sam. I think, Sammy, what's going to happen is I kind of figure there'll be anywhere between 5 and 10 there. I'm going to see what I'm going to search the room before I buy one, unless something really sparks my eyes. But I kind of, and I've talked to you about it recently. I've kind of spoiled my chances of getting one in a way that I seen one sold last July, and it was an authentic. which showed which said authentic evidence of trimming.
Right.
And I mean, just from the eye appeal was gorgeous, and it went for just under $7,000. So since I've seen that one, I've been fixated on that. I mean, I've seen some 4s and 4.5s that are going for between 10 and 12 that just don't look as good to me as that one I seen. And I wish I would have seen that one earlier, but it was when it sold, it was at the time of the National.
Gotcha.
So I might be a little selective with that one, I think.
I can't blame you. So let's jump into this because the whole premise for tonight was to show off some cards. We player collectors. We just kind of zero in and focus in on a handful of for me, it's only 4 players. For I mean, for you said it's primarily Jackie and maybe some not off brand, but some other players from time to time. But tonight, I think it's going to be Jackie and Maze. Since I went on a very big maze run, not thinking that I was going to go for any more maze, but lo and behold, you go to a Philly show and everybody has new maze stuff that I don't have. So anyway, why don't you show your first Jackie? I mean, let's yeah.
I figured the first one I would start off with is the one that the first one I picked up. And the story goes, as I just mentioned, 2 years ago, coming this April, when I finally decided that the route I'm going will be Jackie, I went down the room on this Sunday morning, and from a guy from the Buffalo area, I picked up the first one, which was the 1955 Tops, and it's a really, really nice example.
That's a funny thing about 4s. Not even 4s, but just like those kind of grades. Greg does a lot of those videos where he'll show 2 different cards, and you'll be able to kind of see, or you won't see what the grades are, but you get fooled. I mean, and it just goes to show the subjectivity of grading in general.
Yeah.
But you look. I mean, that card is a 1-4 is not the same as another 4.
No. As you can see, I mean, there's two versions of this one, as you can see in the this corner right here with the diamond of the Dodgers. Okay. There's another version where it's cut partially off.
Oh, okay.
So that's another one that will be on my list. Like I said, if I don't get the 52 Tops, I'm going to be taking stuff like this. Well, I won't be taking it, but I'll be looking for the second version of this with the cut off diamond.
So that's going to be your backup.
Yeah. So I got about 3 or 4 backups. 3 or 4 that I don't currently have that could be there. The next one after the 52 Tops, and Orlando's correct when he mentioned just earlier that it's I believe it's the high numbers, and I believe it was, I'm not sure if it was double printed or not, but he mentioned that, I think. But I think it was the high numbers because it was just after the Mickey. But thanks, Mike. Love the shirt, Mike. Thank you. So I'm gonna, after the 52, I think the next one that may be on is the 48 Swell.
Yeah, there's so many unique sets with Jackie in it in the late 40s. I only know this because I've heard you talk about it. I've heard been at shows and I hear other people talk about it. I mean, I haven't dived too much into Jackie's card run, but I know it's, when you start going into that territory, it becomes explosive and great stuff.
Outside of the Tops and the Bowman and the One Leaf, I mean, there's a lot of different variety of things, from the Eureka stamps, the American Journal. You got photo packs.
And bread.
I'll be showing that baby pretty soon.
Cool. All right, let's I'll jump back over to here. I'll show the newest thing, the newest pickup. We'll start there.
Nice.
So I'll share the story. I don't know if I really went into it in the video in the Philly show video that I did yesterday, but I really went. I'll show this one. This is not a Willie Mays card, but I figure this will lead into the story. So I bought this, the
Yes.
Bobby Thompson Coca-Cola. I bought it for, in honor of my grandfather. If like I mentioned in the video, if I'm gonna have another Coca-Cola card or it tips, it's gonna be Bobby Thompson. And there's two of them in there. There's him fielding and him hitting. Why would I get him fielding? You got to get him hitting.
Yeah.
He's known for. I mean, that's what he's famously known for. So yes, I picked that up. Now, that was prearranged. Like I went into that knowing I'm going to pick that up. I talked to Bill. I texted Bill William Chappell for those who don't know. Texted William Chappell. We went back and forth. I went to the table, paid for that, and then all of a sudden I see so he has his front case displays, and then behind the displays he has another table full of stuff, and lo and behold, he has this sitting there.
Yep.
And I knew this one I wanted for quite some time, but I never see them. And I guess part of the reason why, partially maybe, is because it's such a gigantic card. So it's hard for dealers to put this in their front display case. So I think Bill was very smart in putting this in kind of like a secondary back table, but it was still viewable. You could still see it. And so once I locked eyes on that, I said, and I saw what he was selling it for. I said, Bill, what I got to take a look at that. And so Bill, great conversationalist. If you ever get him going, there could be people standing next to you waiting for him, and he'll still focus his attention on you if you got him into a story. Love that about him. But yeah, this was sitting there, and the price was, more than right. You just don't see these too often. And so, yes, I was overjoyed that I was able to get this.
Now, what year is that, Sammy?
This is from 1954, the Willie Mays photo pack.
Yeah.
This features every big name you can think of. I don't think it has Hank Aaron, although, because if it did, that would be explosive for being his rookie year. But it does have the Ernie Banks, which I mentioned in the video, and it also has Al Kaline. So both rookies for that same year. It's a great alternative rookie option. If you have the tops and of both Kaline and Banks, but you want something to kind of go with it, especially if you're a Cubs collector, Detroit collector, Kaline collector, Banks collector, it's a must-have. So for me, Mays, this was a must-have for me. So
that's a beauty, and what better way to pack? That Bobby Thompson is when you showed it, and I saw it in your video yesterday, Sammy. I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. That is a beautiful, beautiful piece.
Yeah, it's a lot of the one thing. All right, so I ran into there's a collector named Tony. I don't think he doesn't have a YouTube channel, but and it's not Southern Collector. It's a different Tony. Tony is I think best friends with Andrew, who does have a YouTube channel called Nuff Said Cards. And Andrew is involved with Net 54, and I think he helps organize that Net 54 gathering in outside the DC area. And so I ran into Tony, and I showed him this because him and I we love collecting Willie Mays stuff. And so when I showed him that, he was like, I think he told me that he didn't know that existed or something. And honestly, it wasn't that long ago where I didn't even know that it existed. Somebody brought it to my attention. And again, the beauty of the hobby is, you introduce new things to new people, and there you go. And then it just takes off from there.
Well, I tell you, those, like you said, those two pieces in Williams, when you showed his display cases, just spectacular stuff.
Oh yeah, Chappell. Are you talking about? Yeah, Bill, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
and just unbelievable. It's wild to see the stuff that he has.
Oh, it's crazy. I beelined it as soon as I walked in the door, because he's right at the front at the Philly show. Yes. I beelined it right to his table. Yeah. And I just knew for the price that this went for,
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't pick it up, I knew somebody else was going to grab it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, is that one of the first times you've seen that, Sammy?
First time I've seen it at a show.
Yes.
I've seen them online.
Yep.
I've seen them, like, they're on eBay, but they're not going for the price that I bought it for. They're
Mm-hmm.
going for more.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, and I have a history. I have a good history with Bill. I bought a lot from him, and so
That always helps, doesn't it?
yeah, it always does. It's always helpful to have a good
Absolutely.
connection with the dealer, and I mean, especially when you know he gets good stuff.
Oh
So,
yes. No, such a wonderful man too. So easy to talk with,
mhm.
and he loves the hobby.
Mookie, he
Yeah.
knows how to bait the savage. I'll tell you what, man. I was very close. He sent me a text message after we confirmed the Bobby Thompson. He sent me a text message with a photo. It's the only SGC graded copy that he has, or not him, but just in general. I think it's a 55 Bowman salesman sample, not the panel, just the card of Willie Mays, and on the back it has
Mm.
the salesman back to it. And he sent that as a text, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what are you doing to me, Bill?
Oh,
My budget can only go so far. Because he had that for big money. I mean, I think that one he had for like 38 or 3,900. That was a big dollar card.
yes.
So
Yeah.
as far as he baited me a little bit, but I didn't fall for that one. But I did fall very much for this. So, as well as a number of other stuff that I bought from him, which we're going to be getting to in a little bit.
Yes. No, that was those two pieces were beautiful, and I know exactly what you're saying when it comes to how easy you get enticed to be you want to spend and spend. I mean, I spent double my budget last year when when I went to Strongsville. Then I decided to go to National again, and I doubled up, and it's like wow.
Yeah.
And then that's not including the couple Toronto shows where I picked up a few things here and there too. So it was that's why I'm still working.
Yeah, you got to pay the you got to pay the somehow you got to pay for those cards.
You got to pay the piper if you're going to buy them.
Exactly. What's your second Jackie?
Well, the second Jackie. So after I went to Strongsville, I went to Pittsburgh probably a month right after it. And going to Pittsburgh the month right after it, my good buddy Scott was meeting us there, and Mike and I from again, Canadian Cards, Mike and I, we ended up taking the one-day trip. We drove to Pittsburgh in the morning, got up at like 4 o'clock, got there by 9:30, 10, got in there. We came back that night. But my second Jackie I picked up was the 1950 a low-grade Bowman.
Mm-hmm. Now, so again, when it comes to Jackie stuff, I don't really, as a maze collector, I just don't really pay a lot of attention to it. So with the 50 Bowman, what is it that you're looking for? Like, were you purposely looking for a lower grade, or like, run me through it?
I picked this one up. I mean, I think eventually it could be one I may upgrade, but I did like the centering. I like the centering, and that's when I started doing the Jackie run. I know the first one I got, the 55, was a tad off center, but this one is a little bit centered, better centered. But obviously it's got wear and tear. It's got a couple creases, but none down the body. I love the action shot, basically, with him swinging the bat, the full body. I just really like the card. I got it for a decent price. And what I figured was that this could be one that it's not overly expensive to upgrade it.
Right.
So this, it kept me going. It started me off to keep going. And I just, when I looked at it, I mean, again, it's got a few creases in the left-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, but I love the action or the card of it, full body swinging the bat.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it's not that bad. It's pretty good center rise.
Well, that's what I first noticed and gravitated to was the centering on it.
And so that's why, I mean, for the price, I mean, especially after just going to Strongsville a month before, and then, it is what it is. And I didn't want to jump in too fast. And I thought this was a good example to get because, like I said, the 50 Bowman, you can upgrade that and it won't cost you a whole lot more. I mean, if I were to trade this off and then pick it up, it might cost me $1,000 or $2,000 more to get like a 3.5, 4, depending on the centering. I mean, and eye appeal, obviously. So that was the second one, which I got a month later. And it really, once I got that card, I mean, the first one I got was I think it cost me $500, $600 or something like that. But once I got this one, I was all in then. It was as soon as I got that second Jackie, I knew it's because you know how you can buy something and a couple weeks goes by and then you might drift somewhere else. That's been generally the way I've been in and out of the hobby that way, where I outside of my Orioles or my Cal Ripken Jr. stuff. Once I got that card, I was all in. I figured, you know what? And that's when I started looking and pricing and started everywhere I went. I just started focusing on Jackie right from there.
It's a good springboard. So let me switch back here. So card number 2. All right, let me just set this straight because I know Orlando's in here, and Orlando likes to bust my chops because me and Jeannie started it. It's a funny concept. I'm not showing the Coca-Cola test tips, and I'm not showing the Stahlmeyer. We're not ticking that up to 1 million times that I've shown it. So I'm keeping that one out on purpose. But for number 2, I'm going to show the Venezuelan. 67 Topps Venezuelan. Now, I will say this much. The Venezuelan cards have really been jumping up in price, it seems. There's definitely been a lot more focus and attention on these cards. And because I think when you go to a show, there's only, really a handful of people, especially at some of the bigger shows, there's only a handful of people that have the Venezuelans and have a full display case of them. And so I bought this off of a trusted Venezuelan dealer named Brian Fish. Mookie knows him, and just a great dealer. He's really primarily in the New York region that he sets up at. So, but he has the capability of selling to others. Like he sold a 67 Venezuelan Aaron to Matt. They made a deal. And there's something about the 67 Aaron that is just incredibly challenging to find one. I saw on Orlando's card show video that he posted today, there was a guy that had also a Willie Mays 1, and it was selling for like $500.
Sam, the whole case looked like he had a bunch of Vennies.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
I saw the same video, like Orlando was saying. And as soon as Orlando was showing that case, I thought about you immediately because he had didn't they have 2 of those?
So Orlando mentioned the 64. I saw that one too, and I thought for a second, I'm thinking Orlando's going to buy that one, and maybe he did. I don't know. He didn't mention if he bought anything.
But
he did say, he picked up a Venny at the show. I bet you it's that 64 Mays because he really focused a lot of attention on that.
Wasn't there 2 of them, or was there like there was?
No, there was only one 64, but there were 2 67s.
Yes. So I saw that, and I didn't text him today yet because I was going to text him later tonight and ask him if he ended up picking up, because I saw and he was focusing on the whole case, and there was a bunch of Mickey Mantle ones too.
So Orlando's chiming in. He had that Mays in a 5. Which one? Is that the 67? I think it was the 67, right?
Yeah.
It was the 67. Was it in a 5? Because I think the 64, that one was a lower grade,
Wow.
but my God, that thing looked so good.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was a beauty.
let's switch over to number 3.
Okay, so from there, I mean, after going to the Pittsburgh show, and that was in May, I didn't do much for the summer. I did pick up a raw Jackie. I'm not going to show it because I rather. Well, I guess I could. The 50. I picked up a 53 up here in Canada, actually a raw one,
Oh,
and
wow.
I picked it up raw, and it. I I I ended up getting it for. I traded two Sidney Crosby rookie cards, like minor ones, and some cash. So I ended up. Hey, thanks, Garrett. Love the beard too. I ended up picking up this. I think I got it for 400 Canadian plus a couple Sidney Crosby rookies. The only key when I got it, because it was raw, I was thinking as long as it comes back authentic, and it got it
Right.
too.
That's
So
it. That's such a good feeling.
so that's it, the key. So that I end up picking that one up at a card show around here, and it's not a bad example, but like I said, I mean, there's a few that I could possibly upgrade down the road, and
Mhm.
like that one, the 50 Bowman, and this is another one that I could possibly upgrade down the road to a better version, even if it's a 3 or 3.5, that's a little better centered.
Right.
So
And
that's
that's yeah. That's a fun little project to
yeah.
try to see. How much does a Crosby rookie go for these days? Is it a
So
lot?
the ones I traded, there was one. They were both PSA 10s. One
Okay.
was worth $400. I traded for $400, and the other one was a really secondary one that was it was a 10 too. It might have been the victory one or something like that, and it was like 100. So I probably traded about 500, and I didn't have that into those cards, but I
Yeah,
probably trade $500, say Canadian price, and then I paid him 400 cash. So I basically got it for like $900 Canadian.
that's great. That's
So it's
great.
like probably 700 American.
I'm curious. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take a look later to see how like what
Yeah.
they sell for in a two typically, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
But side question: any jackies in Canada that are not in the states?
No.
Yeah, so no
No.
sets, no Canadian exclusive sets.
No. I don't
Hmm.
I've nothing that I know of. Um I again, like I would think the best thing to get out of here would be like a photo or something like a program from Montreal when he played
Right,
with
I was thinking about that. Just
with the
Montreal
Montreal
Royals.
Royals.
Yeah.
I've tried to keep my eye on that. So when I go, I think what I might do is one year I may drift to Quebec when they have the big Montreal Expo, because you might be able to see something then. But I don't think there was a lot. I haven't seen anything, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. All right. And then Jacob is asking if you have any Jackie autographs.
I don't have. I don't. No, I don't. But I'm focusing on the cards.
For
So
now, and then maybe down the road you'll
down the
consider one.
road, that may be a
Right.
possibility.
Cool. All right. Let's go to. I'll go to number 3 on my end. Let me see. There we go. So number 3, another recent pickup. I think a lot of people seem to be kind of gravitating towards bazookas as well, and so
Mhm.
um, this is the recent bazooka pickup that I made off of eBay. The second year bazooka card, and there was, I think, out of the many that were on eBay, this one was the best looking one. There were some other ones that were graded a little bit lower, but they just didn't have as good of a cut on it and just not as clean looking. And the margin of difference in price it was not too large. So I figured, all right, I'll spend a little bit more to kind of get a better looking card. And I was able to kind of see how much an 8 went for. I don't know, maybe about a year ago or so, maybe under a year ago, and um, yeah, it wasn't too far off from what this one was selling for. But I got it for I got this for less than what the 8 went for, and I think this one was better looking, in my opinion, than
It's a
the 8.
gorgeous, it's a gorgeous sample. Just
Yeah,
like you see, all the lines are perfect. I mean, no, it looks really sharp. The registration is just beautiful.
yeah. I fell into that hole of, all right, I got one bazooka, I'm happy, I'm settled. But then I see this one, I'm thinking, oh, it's there, and I can. My budget expanded because I was able to make such a big sale of some graded cards that I was happy
Mhm.
to move, and I was able to move it and apply it towards something like this. So,
Yeah,
or put
that's
in
a
for the
gorgeous
brand.
one. That's
Yep.
beautiful.
So one of my few eBay pickups that I've made over the years, but no regrets.
No, that's a gorgeous one.
Mhm. Let's go back to you.
Okay,
Number
so
four.
from there, I mean, after doing the Strongsville and the Philly show, pardon me, the Pittsburgh show, I probably mid-August, I decided to go to, and this is in 2023, decided to go to Philadelphia. And I think I chatted with you a few days before that hopefully we might be able to hook up, which we eventually did. So anyway, we did that on the Saturday, but the Friday night, I'll show the card. It's the 47 Bond Bread.
Yes. It's such a great looking card.
And the grade is relevant to me because this is a gorgeous. I mean, I was so happy when I picked this up. I went into the show within a half hour. I came across this, and I'm talking with the gentleman, and we're going back and forth. And I had him to a certain price, which was a really good fair price for me, down to probably about 25% off that what he was asking for.
That's fantastic.
And so I was this card. How ironic is a month before going to Philly, I never knew anything about this card for the most part, and I watched Dave Blue Jacket
Blue
60
Jacket. Yep.
video about the Bond Bread and what to watch for and what the rounded edges and this and that. And so when I saw this card, I knew exactly what I was looking for because of that previous video. So I mean, it only says a 1.5, but this thing looks so much better than that. I mean, it looks like on the back up here, you can see there was a little writing and it got erased.
It's amazing how something like that can just shrink the grade down, but that's beside the point. Really yeah, I mean, I was kind of running through my brain. I was like, why is that a 1.5 when the front looks just stunning, absolutely stunning. And I just appreciate the way that card, like the way that card was, the foundations of it, because it kind of, I mean, it's unfair to say it reminds me of a Top 69 Super. It's really,
Yes,
the 69 Super looks a lot like, because the Bond Bread came first.
yes.
But is that the Bond Bread? Is that a full set of Brooklyn Dodgers, or is that
No,
just?
this was the Bond Bread set. I the same weekend, and if you don't mind me squeezing a card in here,
By all means.
believe it or not, the same weekend off of Ash, I got the Ted Williams.
Oh, so the Bond Bread is not exclusive to the Dodgers. It's
No,
okay.
it was so I got this Ted Williams in a 5. So there's a bunch. I'm not sure how many. Yeah, I'm not sure how many there are, but I know Jackie had a run of 12 Bond Bread exhibit type cards. I think they are. I haven't seen. They run pretty pricey now.
Yeah.
And the thing about this one is the Bond Breads were put in the loaves of bread. That's why they got the rounded edges, so they wouldn't get from the stories I've read.
Yeah.
The rounded edges, so they could put it in the loaf of bread, and that's what they came out of.
That's so funny.
Now they got the square edges, and they were more like the sports star subjects. They call them bomb breads, but there's a lot of stuff going on with them from it, finding some in 1980. But the rounded edges ones, this one is just spectacular. I mean,
Yeah.
it's legit, and it's I love it.
Do you remember the dealer that you bought it from? Was it one of the mainstream dealers, or was it
wasn't.
somebody?
It
Huh?
was, and it wasn't a mainstream. I seen him at Philly, and I also saw him, I believe, at the National, but that's the only time I've seen him. And it was an old Army vet. I can't remember his name. And the story of that goes, we flipped, pardon me, we didn't flip. And I was telling Dan, Dan's Baseball Vintage PCs, I was telling him, and he might even know who the guy is because he goes to Philly a lot. Dan does, like yourself. And we flipped, or no, not flipped. We paper, rock, scissors for $100 off the card. And so he won 2 straight. I had to pay an extra 100.
That's Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah. So, but I'm telling you, when I got this card, like I said, I saw it. I left for about. Thanks, Mookie. So when I saw this card, I left within a half hour talking to someone. I thought, I'm going to get it now. It might not be there when I come back, and I've never seen it before.
Right.
And I think we've talked about this before, Sammy. I went right back, and it was there. I says, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. He says, okay, paper, rock, scissors. And it was perfect. And for $100, it didn't bother me in the least.
No, when you're paying such a high dollar for something like that.
Yeah.
It's such
and
a
he was already giving me almost 25% off.
Yeah.
So, and he's just a really nice man. And, but yeah, it was, if I'm being honest, it's one of my top 3 cards in my collection.
That's amazing.
So just beautiful.
Cool. So let's see. Card number 4 for me is going to be the Burke Ross. The 52 Burke Ross. These can be difficult to find with good centering.
Yes.
And so I bought this at the White Plains show from Stan. I feel like it's good. My collection has a very strong variety of a lot of the major mainstream dealers. A little bit of Chapel, a little bit of Stan. I think might be some. There's an Ash card in here. Going through, and there's actually some like non-mainstream dealers as well. Like I really kind of spread it out. So the Burke Ross came from Stan. It was towards the end of the show that Saturday. And Mookie's buddy Pete just got his 52 Mantle Burke Ross. And, or was it the 51? I can't remember what year it was. Nevertheless, I went to Stan's table just aimlessly looking, and I asked his, I don't know if I never know if it's his girlfriend, fiance, or wife, Casey, I think her name is. And I asked her, I said, hey, does Stan have a 52 Burke Ross? Mm-hmm. And I'm expecting them to say, oh, no, we don't. But then she looks down at the case. It's literally tucked in on the very front, the lip of the case. So it's really covering half of it. You don't see it. It's really see it. And so she brought it out, and I said, oh my God, this looks absolutely stunning. So I do what we typically do. I look up how much they've went for just to kind of gauge, because Stan had it priced. And so I say to Stan, we're not too far off from what he asked. And so I said, hey, can you take so-and-so? And he goes, because it's you, yes.
Nice.
Nice. That was, a really great piece to pick up to add to the Maze collection. So.
Well, when you talk about Stan, Sammy, it's incredible the amount of raw and greatest stuff he has, and he's got it stacked in so many. I mean, he'll have those rubber band piles, and he'll have incredible cards eight deep.
Yeah. Oh, he's known for yeah, he has such a strong inventory of raw cards.
Incredible.
He provides a good variety, and I think that's very smart because you have a lot of collectors out there that enjoy buying and prefer buying raw stuff, especially set builders. Yeah, set builders.
Hmm.
He has binders and binders and binders,
Yep.
boxes. So he does good business that way, I think. And I'm going to have him on in a few weeks on the Four Collectors channel to
Yes.
preview Strongsville with
Yes.
Garrett, Ballpark Memories. Garrett's not first time setting up, but first time setting up at Strongsville. So it's
Yes.
going to be a good counterpart between Stan's experience at Strongsville
Yep.
and Garrett's introduction to it as a dealer.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to bring you
Yep.
back over and go to
Okay.
number
Well,
5.
I'm going to get to the to probably my number one card in my whole PC. So I mean, I'm sure I picked up a few things here and there over the time, but I'm going to go to last year at Strongsville. Most of everyone knows the story by now, but it's my 49 Leaf Jackie. This card is spectacular.
Yeah,
Um,
you're
the,
not
the
kidding.
the centering. I'm telling you, every time I look at it, it was every penny was worth it. It was. I just think it's a spectacular card, and I'm so happy. The story of it is so wonderful. It made my weekend. I got to share it with everyone, and and I'm gonna go a little bit off track here, Sammy.
Yeah, sure.
When I was talking the last week or two, we've been seeing videos about the golden era of collecting right now, and I guess Orlando started that with Greg on his show asking the question, and I watched John Wade Boggs' video of what his thoughts are, and my response to John was simply put, I believe it is. And I believe the reason it is because of our community. I just think what's happened in the last year or two with this community, with all the YouTube content, with the gatherings we have. I mean, how could it not be the best time to collect?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
and that's part and parcel to this card because I mean, I could go somewhere and I've bought many cards over the last 30 years, but this card was everything to the whole weekend, and the memory I have of it will always be there, and
mhm.
hence why I think it is such a special time. And as much as the cards are gorgeous, it's the people. It's the people we get to share it with, the people we get to talk to. It's special. And sorry for going off track a little bit there.
Oh, no, it's okay.
But
It's
this is this. I mean, especially for an older fellow like me, it wasn't like this 25 years ago. I mean, yeah, you might have this and that, but you just didn't have the connection. It's really nice. I don't know how else to put it, to tell you the truth.
well, it makes a lot of sense because we didn't have the technology we have now. We didn't have the capability to do the live streams like we're doing now.
Yep.
We didn't have YouTube.
Yes.
Or I guess was it 20? No, we didn't have YouTube at that point. And even so, YouTube was in its infancy stages. It couldn't do anything like that, like we do now. So cool. Yeah, I totally agree with you. The connections is very important and makes the whole experience that much better.
Yes. Yes. It certainly does. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. Cool. I'll switch over here, and I got to pick which one I want. So we're going to go with an Ash card because I picked this one
Nice.
up from Ash. It's the Hires Root Beer of
Mm.
Willie Mays with no tab. And I remember this was at the White Plains show from 2023, I think.
Nice.
So I've had this card for over almost 2 years, over a year and a half. And so, I aimlessly wandering, looking, finding a card, and I see this in his case. And, he had two of them, I think, I don't know if he had two of them, or I can't remember what it was. but I got a good deal off of it from him. And a lot of these, I know Orlando has the card with the tab, and I know of a couple other people that have the full thing as well. And one just sold on Golden, I think. Oh, was it Golden? Yeah, one just sold on Golden for big money. So they're coming out of the woodworks now.
Yes.
But the one without the tab for me is just fine. If I do find one with the tab and I can make it work budget
Mhm.
wise, then I'll move this. But for now, this is perfectly satisfactory for me. So
Oh, it's a beautiful one. It's a beautiful. Yeah, that looks gorgeous.
yeah, I love the bottle cap number.
Yeah.
I love that the Hires root beer is etched on or printed on there. Obviously, you get the full bio
Mhm.
talking about his career. This is from 1958, and you can see this is a promotion that was given away with the purchase of Hires only. So
Yeah, that looks super clean, Sammy. It looks
yeah,
really clean.
that was definitely a big part of it. So yep,
That's a beauty.
there you have it. Switch it back to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna show stuff I picked up at last year's national. I'm gonna rip off a few of them going forward. I know the Wednesday night I had mentioned getting my not going towards the 52 tops because it was out of play after I ended up picking up this one. So I picked up this 49 Leaf.
Oh, the Bowman?
49 Bowman.
Yeah.
I picked this up off Ash, but I packaged it together with the blue tint.
Oh, that is such a man.
So I mean the Bowman is a beautiful example. Very good color, left to right, really nice. Top to
Yeah,
bottom,
you're not kidding.
flat off, right? But this blue tint, the 48 blue tint, is just gorgeous.
Where's the
I
blue
mean,
tint from? What set is that?
I don't. You know what? No one. Everything that I've found out, no one knows exactly where it came from. At least from my knowledge.
What's the set called? 1940 or
It's
1949?
it's the R346 blue tint. It's hand cut. I can't remember is um I haven't been able personally to find out how it got distributed. But it's hand cut, and maybe I'm mixing it up with something else. I'm not sure because I've been trying to get so much information on everything. So I
Right.
might be,
It's tough.
yeah, I might be mixing it up with something else, but I'm not exactly sure. And Jason just said, I think there were faux sheets. I think he's correct with that, but I'm not
Yes.
sure where they were distributed in. So, but these two, I packaged them together from Ash. I got a really, really great deal from them. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been trying to get. I mean, I really enjoy buying stuff off Ash and his the two boys there. They're just
Yep.
good guys. I mean, but yeah, these two came. These were the first two I picked up on the Wednesday night at the National. So, and I got a good deal. I mean, it's funny because Mike, Canadian Cards, my buddy, texted me that night when I was somewhere. I was on the other side by the autographs people, and he was over by Ash's table. And he says, Steven, he says, Ash has a 49 Bowman here. So I went over, and unbelievably, the 49 Bowman was there. The blue tint was right beside it. And I thought, I want them both. So once I got those, my 52 tops was out of the picture.
Sometimes it's, you know what, I mean, people are saying in the chat, like, just, how incredible those cards are. I mean, you're also going, like, these are like 40s cards.
Yes.
So early day playing cards of him. So I don't think anybody would blame you for doing that.
Yeah,
I'd also imagine that the pop on the blue tint is probably pretty low. I would
I
think.
think it is. I looked at it before, Sammy. I
I'm
mean,
looking at it now.
yeah, I looked at it before, and I'll be honest. The example I have, I mean, it is super sharp. It
Yeah,
is,
there's 65 total that have been graded for
yeah,
the blue tint, and when yours is graded
it's authentic.
authentic.
And I'm gonna tell you, I've seen some that are graded 3s, 4s, and 5s that don't even compare to this.
Right.
And I'm it as soon as I seen it, I mean, the full blue lines don't bother me. You can see partially the blue lines here and there throughout the edges.
I think it makes it distinctive.
Oh,
It makes
I'm,
it distinctive. So
it is clean. There's no marks on it. It's a really, really good looking. Even the back's fairly clean.
yeah, it's perfectly respectable. Perfectly respectable card.
So I mean, it is a really nice version of it. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
happy with it.
that's very cool. And again, there's 44 of them with PSA have been graded authentic. So
Yes,
I mean, yeah, it's a low number, and when
yes,
you look at it that way,
exactly.
cool.
Because I've seen a few, Sammy, that are beaten up really bad
Hmm.
and going for $1,000, and I think, oh, but I was really happy to package it together, and I got a great Ash worked with me really great with it, got a great price. So I was it really started me off on at the National, got me going again.
You get a lot of support in the chat here.
Yeah, yeah, no, like I said, this community is wonderful. I can't wait to see everyone at Strongsville, boy. It's going to be just wonderful.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, let me switch back over. So I'll just follow up with the hires root beer. I'll just continue with the test run. So
Oh,
yeah, the Willie Mays root beer test, no tab. Finding these with a tab is like needle in a haystack. That is truly a needle in
mhm.
a haystack. I I don't see them come. You see the singles come up in auction, but not with the tab. And again, like what's special about this one doesn't have a number, so the
Oh, yes.
no number added
Yeah,
for on the bottle cap,
yeah,
and but everything else I think is pretty much the same as far as information goes. But
yes.
this one came from a non-main. This one did not come from a mainstream dealer at the Philly show. It came from oh God, I'm forgetting his name. His name is dropping from my head, but a dealer who I always visit his table, and I recorded his table at the Phillies show yesterday, and I was the way that it's is I was literally just going through individual raw cards on his table, just kind of flipping them over. So that was his table. He's always finding some cool stuff, but this one I picked up off of him. He had like a fanny pack the day that I went, and he had it raw, and I bought it off of him. Went to submit it and to get it, because definitely wanted to get that graded. So
Well, it also looks great in that slab too. The
yeah,
color pops out and everything.
it's like a Halloween card.
Yeah, there you go. But it's
So
still a sharp card,
oh, without a doubt.
super sharp card.
All right.
So I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna grab a card, and it's one of the bigger ones. It's the 52 Star Cal decals
Oh man, I need the
of
maze in
Jackie
that one.
Robinson. So I picked it up. I was looking at two of them.
Hmm.
One was in the Beckett grade and it had a grade on it, but I chose the one in the PSA grade because it's authentic. The Beckett grade, I think, was one of the higher ones at a 5 or 6 or something like that. But from my understanding, Beckett was like SGC and PSA will only authenticate the Star Cal decals because they're inside the red envelopes.
I think that's the case. Yeah.
So that's exactly what it is. Now, I'm going to point out one thing specifically on this.
Okay. Oh God, that's so beautiful. Such
Try
a
not
pretty.
to get the.
See if you can go to the other side. Yeah.
It's-
There you go. That's actually better. Yep, right there.
So if you look at right here,
The star.
everyone I've seen except for this one, I've not seen another one like this that has the blue star. Every other one I've seen has the 15-cent sign there in red in a white circle or white. Pardon me, I think it is. And there's I don't know what's the provenance of this or what's going on. I've tried to find out. I can't find any information.
Leave it
But
to me.
I think I couldn't know what to tell you. But that's why I picked this one over the other one it was because I keep seeing the other ones out. I've seen many, all of them, all the other players, but there are a few out there. This is the only Jackie I've seen, but there are a few out there, other players that have the blue star also. And why, I don't know. I don't need the white gloves because I got it in a plastic sheet.
Ruben is saying the star is the Canadian version.
I like it. I like it. But yeah, I picked this up. I got a really great deal, and I picked this up with Orlando and John, Wade Boggs fan. They were with me the Saturday morning going on my last 2, 3, 4 pickups with me. And they were really great help with me, giving me good advice, talking to me, working with me, telling me what their thoughts were. And I picked up a couple bangers with them there, and I really appreciated their help. But this one of my favorite cards, and mainly because I think this possibly you don't see many with the blue star.
Oh, that's unique. That is very unique. That's the 1 year of Maze cards that I need to finish a 52 the rare and unique oddities of Maze.
Yes.
Only year I'm missing. Only card I'm missing.
Jackie also has that's the type 1 because it's the individual player. The type 2 are when you have double players. So I need to get the Jackie with the Campanella.
Yes. Yeah.
So that will be another one. Like I say, if I go to Strongsville, I don't get the 52 tops. I see that one there. That could be a play.
They're not too expensive. And compared to some of the other stuff you have.
Yes.
It's not that expensive. But.
No, it isn't. I mean, I could probably get a really nice example for $1,000 if that.
I'm looking at one right now on eBay that's selling for like almost a little under $1,200.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be in play. If I don't get the big boy.
Yeah, that's I need the big I need the big boy. All right, let me finish off the last 3. So, all right, San Francisco Call Bulletin time.
Yeah.
This came from this one came from the quad collection, or the quad pickup of this, the super stand-up, the advertisement, and the Coca-Cola. So this was bought raw and submitted this in. I sold my Orlando Cepeda from the same set to Dom Stevens Sports Cards, and I made this my focal card for that. This one I got from, what was it, last summer? Yeah, it was last summer, right before the National. So.
Yeah, that's a beauty one, Sammy. And know what the thing about that, when I look at that one, I mean, I think you've had obviously the New York American Journal.
Yes.
That's the orangey tint type. Like they look somewhat similar, but different. Yeah. Is that correct?
Literally, yeah. One across the country. One in New York and one in San Francisco, 4 years apart.
Yeah. And that's a nice looking one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Just a cool looking piece, another Halloween card.
Absolutely.
So, all right, I'm gonna bring it back over.
Yeah,
Two. We should have two left.
I'm going to show another rare one. Well, I wouldn't say rare, but one that I don't see very often. And again, I had Orlando and John with me on the Saturday morning, and this has a quite a funny story to it. So on the Friday night,
Yeah.
it was just John and myself, and we were talking to the dealer, and he had a price on it, and I looked at it, and I was talking with John, so I put it back down on the case the Friday night, and I said to him, I says, yeah, I can't remember exactly what the price. I says, is there anything you could do a little better on that? And he looked at me. He picked it up off the case, put it back in the case, and walked away.
What the?
Honest to God. So there was another one there somewhere else, but I wanted this one because I thought it was a nicer version.
Okay.
I like this one mainly because it's a fold. The fold that goes across his chest, you really have a hard time seeing it. So you can tell it hasn't been really open and closed very much. I mean, it's a tad off centered. The registration is super nice. So here's the best part about this. I go back Saturday morning with John in Orlando because I really wanted this card. So I asked the guy to look at it again, and I asked Orlando and John what their thoughts were, and they were pretty adamant, similar to mine, and they were saying that I told Orlando the story from last night because John was with me, and I says, well, you know what, maybe I'll just offer him this much. And so I looked at the guy, says, would you mind doing this much? He says, sure.
That's such a far difference from him putting the card back in the display case and not saying a word to you. That is out there.
It's less than 24 hours later, and
you think he forgot who you were?
Maybe, I don't know, but
it was the same entourage around you, so.
Yeah, well, I think it might have been Orlando and John that he was a little intimidated. So, but no, it was. I just love this card. It's a great example, and it has a great, like a lot of stuff I've been picking up lately, has good stories.
Absolutely. So we'll finish off on one more card.
Okay.
Because I gotta run, but
sounds good.
I'm gonna finish off with. Let me switch over first. I'll finish off with the Redman 52 tobacco of Willie Mays.
Oh yeah.
This one was I bought this at the last Philly show. And it was very much a last minute purchase. And I'm a stickler. I need it with the tab.
Yes.
So, and I made a very strong comparison, or not comparison, but a very strong connection to this with the Pinkertons. The Pinkerton family created the Redman tobacco set run. It was it was the grandson of the founder who was running the company at that point. So, but very successful. They did this was the first tobacco card since 1920. It goes to show that ice cream and bubble gum took over.
Mm-hmm.
And bread, apparently, as well as bread and other assorted baking goods. So
yeah, that's a beauty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the color scheme on that is awesome too. I mean, just
I love my Halloween cards.
Yeah, hey, I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with brightness. There's no doubt about that. That's beautiful.
I'm gonna let you finish it off here.
Well, I'm going to go with one of my pickups from this year. Another story. This is the 1955 All-American Club.
Yes.
And Darren from returning to collecting sent me a text in October last year that he knew a gentleman that had some jackies. Is it okay if he give my number to him? I said, absolutely. So the gentleman sent me a text, and we started talking about it. He had this one, and unfortunately, I forgot to grab my other one out of the safe. The 1951 Topps Brooklyn Dodgers team card. So, and it's got the Jackie in it. I picked up these two. So we made a deal probably in middle of November, but unfortunately, our lovely Canada Post mailmen decided to go on strike.
Oh.
So I told them, don't worry about it. We'll wait till they stopped. Then after Christmas, and then they decided to go back to work. And I reached out to them again. I says, I think it's all clear now. And we made the deal. I bought the two cards, and here's one of them. So these are my first two Jackie cards of 25. I'm surprised this is only a 6 because this is spectacular. But again, the grades are relevant to me.
Right.
But it is just a beautiful. These are those ones that you can get for $500, $1,000, $15. Those type of cards that aren't the mainstream stuff that I'll be getting here and there when I come across. Like we talked about, like the photo packs and the Eureka stamps and stuff like that. So this has started me off on this year's Jackie run. So that's where I'm at right now. I got a lot of photos and some other books and stuff. I'm really starting to accumulate a lot of stuff, and I'm super happy. It's after I get the 52 tops. I think I got all the top cards done. I got all the Bowman cards done, the Leaf card done. Now it's going to be time to get the other stuff.
That's the next step in the adventure.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So before we finish off, I just want to make a quick announcement. Again, I said I would do this. So you guys again know if anybody going to Strongsville. I think a lot of us are. So a Saturday, April 12th, right after the show's over, for collectors, we're going to be hosting the first ever vintage trade night at the Best Western Strongsville. It's right across from the parking lot from the ice arena where the show is happening. We're going to have free pizza, free admission. Thanks to our lovely sponsors. We've got Howard Chasser from A Few of My Favorite Things, who's going to be dealing at the show. Proud sponsor to have is with SGC as well. Really happy to have them on board, and also Love of the Game Auctions will be present too. And if you're fortunate enough to be one of the first 250 people to get in, you'll get a free pack of cards to go with it. So everybody comes away a winner. But happy to. I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to Chris's gathering the night before as well.
Night, yeah.
So really just a lot of events going on. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys for those that are going. I will be there probably Thursday morning-ish. I plan on leaving Wednesday and staying overnight somewhere along the way, so I'm not driving through the night.
Good idea.
And I'll get there refreshed and ready to go Thursday morning. So that's the plan.
Well, that's awesome. I think we're planning on Mike and I think the last time I talked to him, we're thinking about driving down Thursday afternoon, so we have the Thursday night with people too.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're looking at also. So we're going to be as of now we're staying. It was Garrett, Mike, and myself. We have a room, a studio or something I can't remember what it's called, but. It's somewhere to stay at to sleep in.
Absolutely.
So, because we know we'll be out most of the other times.
Yes. That's a big ask, David. I think we're sticking with Strongsville. I think that's the plan going forward. The National's just too chaotic.
Yes.
Way too chaotic. Too much organization for that. And, I think maybe if For Collectors ever has like 10,000 subscribers or 15,000 subscribers, maybe we'll consider it at that point.
Yeah.
But I say that jokingly. I mean, at some, it will continue to grow, I'm sure, but
Mhm.
not at. I don't think we'll get to that point of hosting a vintage trade night at the National.
Well,
But
that would be huge.
yeah, yeah, it's just
Huge.
too much
Yes.
coordination. The Strongsville is the right amount of chaos, and it's not even really chaos. It's really a controlled environment that we can manage.
It's
But
such a smaller scale, great scale. It's a it's absolutely a wonderful show,
yeah,
but it's such a smaller scale and easier to coordinate something what you're doing here.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. All right. Well, listen, Stephen, thank you so much. I think everybody got a big kick out of seeing the Jackie cards, and we definitely have people who are watching that may not have seen your cards before.
mhm.
Um, if you want to plug your channel, we have 40 people watching, so we never know. So go ahead.
Well, it's again, I haven't done much in a while with the channel because I haven't really picked up much. I'm generally a guy that shows cards when he picks them up. So, but you know what? I might start just backtracking a little bit, maybe doing a video a week. I've said that before to show some stuff, but please feel free. It's Stephen with the PH. I mean, that's where it's at, and I'm just looking forward to hanging out with everyone again, Sammy. I'm so
Me
looking
too.
forward to Strongsville. It's going to be a blast. And again, I thank you more. It seems like I'm thanking you all the time, but I do appreciate you including me in the stuff you include me in. I really feel thankful for that. And
Absolutely, I'm happy to do it, man.
I love you guys, man. This is just wonderful. So
All right, man. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We had a good time, and I should be. Well, no, I'm not going to be back for Vintage Chill and Chat for another 2 weeks. But we'll definitely revisit all of that towards the end of the month. All right, guys. Have a good night. Take care.
take care, everyone.